I wanted to start YouTube a while back, but I just didn't end up having the time. I actually got pregnant and I got COVID, so I just felt horrible. So I was like, I want to start my YouTube channel when I'm 27 weeks, but I got COVID, so I was like, I'll just start it when I'm 30 weeks and then bring you guys along with my journey. But unfortunately, things just didn't happen like that. So I just wanted to start off my channel letting you guys know that, but I want to bring it back a little bit to tell you guys kind of my background and how I'm here today. So me and my fiance have been together for about 5 years now, and we've always wanted to have a baby. And I have 2 kids myself. I have an 8-year-old daughter, her name is Lilia, and then I have a 6-year-old son, his name is Carter. A daughter named Zendaya, she's 6. And then he also has a 3-year-old, and her name is Ruby. He doing different videos just explaining our background, so it'll take a couple of videos to understand us and our blended family and just our situation. I want to tell you guys about, you know, when we first met, to our problems, obviously, that we had during when he had his other daughter. And then just now to our life. Yeah, we've been together for 5 years. We've been trying to have a baby for about maybe, I mean, I wouldn't say trying to have a baby. We have definitely wanted a kid. College school, Paul Mitchell, Houston. And I own my own business. I braid men's hair right now. I want to do more, a little bit more. If you could see, I have t-shirts and a t-shirt maker and sewing machine and stuff like that. I want to start making t-shirts and just do way more. But right now I'm just a men's braider. I own my own business. I have my own clientele. And so fiance, he is mechanic. He one day wants to own his own business doing, you know, that, I forgot what it's called right now. I just had a whole brain fart. He wants to own his own garage, basically. Yeah. About 7 months ago, maybe. I know in May, that's when everything happened. And then June is when I had just not been feeling good at all. I was sleepy, I was waking up tired, and mind you, like I said, I own my own business. So I was working until 9 a.m. to about 12 a.m. in the morning every day, just hustling, you know, getting at least 6-7 clients a day, because that's just what I wanted to do. I had my son, he was living with my mom in Florida, and then I had just my daughter, and we were just hustling, making money. We wanted to be able to have a good income at this point. So when I started my business, I was just booming. I was literally just hustling to make ends meet, and I was gonna do whatever it took, honestly. So me working until 12, sometimes 2 in the morning, honestly. That was just what I wanted to do. I just wanted to do it, and that's what I did. So it was just like weird that I was waking up and I was so tired and drained. Like, even when I woke up, I wanted to go back to sleep. Like, it was just horrible. So at the time, I was like, what in the world's going on? So then my fiance, he was coming home and he was just knocking out. Like, didn't even want to play the game, didn't want to do anything, just knocking out when he came home, and like slept through the night to the next day, and he would just go to work and literally do that all over again. So I'm like, did you get somebody pregnant? Like, that's how I felt. But I was just like, this is just so weird. So we hadn't been trying, but we wanted to have a baby together. So when I would get like my periods, I would cry because I, was on my period. And sometimes I would take a test and I would cry when it came back negative. And so I didn't think that I could have any more kids. Not that I couldn't have any more kids. We thought he couldn't have kids because he didn't have DNA tests for his daughters at the time. So we just didn't think that he could have kids. So we were just, using no protection or whatever. So when I wasn't feeling good, just one day I went to work and I remember telling my client, like, I just don't feel good at all. Like, I wasn't throwing up yet, but I just did not feel myself. I just knew I didn't feel myself. So I was like, I'm just gonna go buy a test and that's what I'm gonna do. So I went to go buy a test and I came back to my shop and I peed on the stick, and then, like, whatever time they say, came back and it said pregnant. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm pregnant. So I called my fiance. He was at the mall with my daughter at the time, and I told him, and it was just amazing. Like, he just started crying on the phone and we were just so happy. My kids had insurance, but I didn't have insurance. So when I got pregnant, I got pregnancy insurance, but things are different. I lived in Florida for a while, and when I had my 2 other kids, I lived in Florida, and there you just go to a doctor and then they take your insurance basically and you start going there. Here, I didn't know that basically everybody goes to the hospital and gets their doctors through them. And so I'm looking for independent doctors and they're telling me they don't take my insurance, so I'm getting frustrated. Basically, I didn't go to the doctor until I was 16 weeks pregnant. And I didn't really have any concerns about it because I obviously had 2 other kids. So I'm like, okay, I know how pregnancy works. We just sit here basically and we're the incubator basically. And we cook these kids up. I know how to eat, like, drink water, take care of myself. So, I didn't think anything of it. So we went to our ultrasound appointment and our doctor's appointment, and I just remember, like, sitting there, and before the doctor even came in, I was like, babe, what if we're having twins? Like, this is just so crazy. And he's like, Mom, and then we're having twins. I call him my husband, but he's my fiance. My fiance, he was like, I guess we're having twins. He's really nonchalant about those things. So, yeah. And then the doctor came in and she's just like looking around in there, and I'm looking at the screen and I see 2 heads, but I didn't think it was like 2 heads. I thought it was like mirroring off, because you know how ultrasounds like move a lot. So I thought it was just mirroring off the head. So she just stops there and I'm like, what? And she's like, yeah, I guess you're having 2. And I'm like, oh my God, 2 babies. So I was just baffled about it. Like, I was just like, took it back. I didn't honestly believe it. It didn't hit me until a little bit later. So, we go home, whatever. We're getting used to the fact that we're having twins. We've always wanted a boy together. That's like originally, when we talked about having babies, we've always wanted a boy. So we just prayed that one of them was at least a boy. I didn't care if the other one was a girl, but one of them had to be a boy. So, every time we went to the doctor, my mom had came to visit and we had an ultrasound appointment. Well, I had my ultrasound appointment to like basically see the sex of the baby. I didn't want to know the sex of the baby because I wanted a gender reveal, but I then changed my mind because I'm like, okay, I'll just get a baby shower because I just want all the stuff, and then whatever, bump the gender reveal. To the doctor, and I remember my mom, she was just like, yeah, we want to know the sex. We want to know the sex. She's very pushy like that. So we found out the sex. Baby A was a boy, and she was like, oh, I'm pretty sure baby B is a girl, but I don't know. She's not really showing, whatever. So it took like I think a month later to really confirm that it was a girl. So at this point, you know, I'm pregnant with twins and I'm just, you know, living the life, whatever. I'm going down on clients because I was just, oh my goodness, twins, being pregnant with twins, it sucks the life out of you. Like, I follow Wanda on YouTube and she makes it look so easy. Me, I felt like I was dying every day. Like every day I just did not want to do anything. I just wanted to lay in bed, just sit there for life until I had the babies, honestly. Like I didn't cook, I didn't clean anymore. I was just done with everything. So yeah, my 25th week, I was stressing over just like the thought of me not working anymore because I am the breadwinner of my family. Like my husband, my fiance, he gets a lot of money, but I was getting more because I own my own business and I was taking so many clients. So I was just stressing over like what we were gonna do and how we're gonna afford bills, and just a lot was going on. And then my 26th week, so I had got COVID and I didn't know it was COVID. And so I was just sick as a dog. Like my fiance would come in from work, and by the way, his name is Al. I don't know if I even said that. That's horrible. But yes, Al, he was coming home from work and he was just like, babe, I've never seen you this sick. Like, are you okay? So he was like, okay, if it keeps, you know, if you're still this sick, like in a week, we're taking you to the hospital. So I was like, okay, that's fine. And I thought I was gonna get better. I felt like I was getting better, but it was like my nose and my congestion and stuff was just so horrible. And I just couldn't get up off the couch. Like I didn't want to lay in the bed. I just wanted to lay on the couch. So yeah, my 26th week, I was getting over COVID. I didn't know I had it, so I thought I was just sick. So I was getting over my sickness, and my mom had got it. So she was freaking out. So she had to fly my dad here, and basically she was asking me to pick him up from the airport, and she wanted me to pick him up, my sister up from her house, and she was just really sick. So I was like, I don't know if I can do that. Like I'm still getting over my sickness, and then plus me being pregnant, period, I just wasn't doing anything. Like I barely wanted to go to the grocery store at this point. So this was my 26th. Like it was like on the day. Actually, it was that Friday. I was about 26 in a couple days. So I remember sitting on the couch, and I just got off the phone with my dad, and I just looked over and was like, babe, something's not right. So he was like, what's going on? And I'm like, I don't know. I just know something's not right. Like, I just don't feel good. I feel like I'm about to like pass out or something. So right when I said that, like a gush of blood just came out, and I was like, oh my God, my water broke or I'm bleeding. And so I felt down there and I seen like a hint of blood. So I walked to the bathroom, which is like right by my living room, and I pulled down my pants and I seen blood in my underwear. And I was like, babe, I'm bleeding. And he already went upstairs and got his clothes on. And so he came back downstairs, and he said that I was passed out on the floor, which I don't even remember passing out at this point. So I'm passed out on the floor. He got me up on the couch, and I had called 911. So, they're just telling me to get comfortable, and the ambulance is on their way. And so I'm just sitting there, and I could feel myself passing out again. So I'm like, babe, I'm about to go out again. So when I said that, I just fell on him, and my daughter was on one side and he was on the other, just rubbing me, trying to, get me back conscious again. So I woke up and the ambulance was basically there, and they took me to the hospital. For some reason, they told the hospital that I was discharging and I was actually bleeding. So when we were on our way, I just remember like they kept telling me to tell them how far my contractions were. But I don't think they were contractions. I think that my stomach was just contracting like the whole entire time I was on my way to the hospital. And since they thought I was discharged, they were stopping at every stoplight. And I remember getting there, and then the doctor basically told me they couldn't find any heartbeats of my twins. So I'm like, get them out, like save their life. And they were like, well, if we can't find heartbeats, then, you know, we can't really do anything about that. And I'm like, yeah, right, you're gonna get these twins out and you're gonna save both of their lives. And so he came back, and then he found my daughter's heartbeat. He was like, it's very fatal. And so they rushed me to the emergency OR, and it was just like all moving so fast. I just remember like scared, because I know with my other kids, I had gotten epidural. So I'm like, what's gonna happen now? Like, are they just about to cut me open and I'm gonna be awake or feel it or whatever? So they're like, we're gonna have to put you under, we're gonna have to put you to sleep, because, you know, we have to move too fast. So I'm like, okay. So I just started crying, because I remember the doctor saying that he only seen one heartbeat. So I just started like bawling while they're putting me under. And the next thing I know, I woke up to my fiance sitting right here on by my head, and he was just basically crying his eyes out. And so I just remember looking and seeing the baby carriage. Like, after you have babies, you know, they have the babies in the little box. And I just remember seeing that was sitting there, and my son was inside of it. And my fiance, Al, he was just crying. And I was like, what's going on? What's wrong? The doctor said that I wasn't gonna remember anything. I remember hearing it when I was coming to, and they're like, she's not gonna remember anything that just happened before. So, yeah, I lost my son. And they told me I could keep him as long as I wanted. And I laugh about it now, because I'm just like, when I think about it, I kept him for 3 days, and I was just wishing that he would come back alive and start breathing again. I was waking up and putting him on my chest to chest, just believe in a miracle that was gonna happen. That wasn't gonna happen. And putting him back in the thing, they brought ice so he wouldn't, you know, get nasty too quick. So I was just, you know, putting him back on the ice and putting him on my chest, taking naps like that. And I'm like, you know, it's crazy, a mother's love, that you know, that you can hold a cold, dead body, you know, and just still love it like it's alive. And at the time, my kids were home alone, so he had to go home for like a couple days. So it was just me and the baby for like 2 days, and it might have been 1. I was really choked up. So yeah, we were just, you know, it was just us, and I was just grieving my baby. And my daughter, she's fine. She's in the NICU. Obviously, she's a 26-weeker, so she's in the NICU. She's got to grow until for full term. But, you know, my fiance, he came back to the hospital. Al came back to the hospital, and I still had him with me. And he was like, babe, this is not healthy for you to be sitting here with him and wishing that he would come alive, because he's not gonna come alive. And I think that we need to say our goodbyes, and they need to take him tonight. So they came and took him, and I felt like my security blanket was gone. Like, I felt like my whole world had just like rolled out the door. And so I cried for a couple hours, and then I finally just calmed down. And yeah, I had to stay in the hospital because my blood pressure was running high. And when I came in and they said they did the C-section, I had big, huge blood clots. Like, they said that I could have lost my life, honestly. And so they were giving me blood to replace the blood that I had lost. And my blood pressure was really high, which I suffered from high blood pressure before my pregnancy. And so they just wanted to make sure that I was fine before I went home. So I stayed in the hospital for about a week straight. And I was like, please get me out of here. Like, I don't want to be here anymore. So they finally let me go home. And yeah, I think being home was harder than I thought it was gonna be. Just not being pregnant anymore, and thinking about me being pregnant with my twins just hurt 1,000 times worse being home. So my kids, you know, my daughter wasn't confused, but my son was confused. So I had to keep explaining to him what was happening and that his brother wasn't gonna come home. And so my fiance, he basically was just my rock. Like, he was just making sure I was okay, and knew that I was beautiful, knew that I did everything that I could have carrying the twins, that I didn't do anything wrong. He's just amazing. Like, our bond is way stronger than I ever thought it could have been. Just realized that, you know, you hear stories about people losing their kids and during childbirth and stuff like that, and you're, you know, obviously you just move on with your day. So for it to happen to me, I'm just like, this is the hardest thing that anybody could ever go through, is losing their kid and carrying them for that long and not have them here, you know. But, you know, every day is gonna get better. I know it will. I pray that it will. And I just pray that I can get pregnant after this, and that it's a healthy pregnancy, that it's a boy, my rainbow boy, and life gets better, you know. But yes, I wanted to start my YouTube journey out and telling you guys that, well, I wanted to do a twin YouTube journey, but obviously with the circumstances I couldn't do that. So I am starting this YouTube journey, and just, I want to bring awareness to grieving mothers out there, and that we can be strong and we can move on with life. This is what, my twins were born the 5th, and it is the 19th. So by this point, you know, my physical body, I feel normal again. My stomach feels a little weird, but I feel normal again. I want to start working again. I'm just ready. Everybody's like, slow down, Shay. But I'm like, no, I can't sit here because I'm just going to cry all day. So whatever. But my daughter, she is doing amazing in the NICU. They thought that, you know, she was gonna have all these complications, but she's amazing and beautiful and getting big every single day, and I'm in love with her. I can't wait till she comes home. She won't be able to come home for like maybe another 2 months, which is gonna tear me apart. But I'm just gonna try to keep busy and stay strong for my family. I want to do more videos like this and just talking to you guys because I just want to show my true emotions and my true self. I also want to bring my kids in, so I want to start vlogging and doing videos like that. My fiance, Al, he is, you know, he keeps to himself. He's really quiet, but we're going to try to get that personality out to show you guys, definitely. So I want to bring him into my videos. I don't know if I want to do too many prank videos because me and him are both just not the ones to play with. Like, you guys would probably think that we're crazy or something like that, but everybody says that we're hilarious together, so maybe not. We'll do a little bit of pranks, but I just want to show you guys, you know, my life, and then when the baby comes home, just be able to vlog with her and show her, or show you guys just, you know, how a preemie grows and all that good stuff. So hopefully you subscribe to my YouTube channel and get to know me, fall in love, because I'm hilarious and I'm just the person to fall in love with. So subscribe to my channel, like this video so you can push it out there more. I hope you enjoy.